Hi, Delaware. Welcome to another edition of SNL, Saturday Night Library, also trivia. This series was created by Amber and Carrie at the Pal Branch, and I am your host, Mandy, also from the Pal Branch. Here are the rules. Today there are 3 rounds of trivia. Grab a piece of paper and a pen if you want. Feel free to pause this video at any time. There is no time limit. Using your phone is cheating. Don't be a cheater. And the prize for the winning person or team is that you are a smarty pants and everyone knows. Today is one of my favorite categories, food. If you want to number a piece of paper, round 1 is general food trivia, and there are 20 questions. Round 2 is name that fruit or veggie, and there are 20 questions. And round 3 is name that celebrity chef, and there are also 20 questions. Okay, let's get ready to trivia. Oh, I still can't do that voice. Round 1, general food trivia. Round 1, question 1. Which staple food was rationed in the UK the year after the end of World War II, despite having never been rationed during the war? Question 2. From which part of the pig do we get ham? Question 3. Roquefort, feta, and manchego are all cheeses made from the milk of which animal? Question 4. What is sodium bicarbonate better known as? Question 5. If you put a rotten egg in a bowl of water, will it float or will it sink? Question 6. Mozzarella cheese was originally made from the milk of which animal? Question 7. What do you call a vegetarian who only consumes chicken and fowl but no other meats? I guess they're not really like a vegetarian at that point, but you know what I mean. Question 8. What does the Slavic word for vodka translate to in English? Question 9. What is the largest food and drink company in the world? This one's hard. Question 10. What is the main ingredient in a mince pie? Question 11. What is the original flavor for the filling of Twinkies? This is gross. Question 12. What is the most popular spice in the world? Don't overthink this. Question 13. Flour cooked together with fat is known as what? Question 14. Tomatoes originated on which continent? This is like a trick question. Question 15. In 1919, 21 people were killed in Boston due to a flood of what? Question 16. From which type of flour does a vanilla pod come? Question 17. What is added to a martini to make a dirty martini? This is one of my least favorite foods on the planet. Question 18. A Thai dish with moo or sometimes moo would include which type of meat? Question 19. What are the 2 ingredients that traditionally make red velvet cake its distinctive dark red color? Dark is a clue there. And question 20. If you were served crudité as a starter, what would you be eating? I messed this one up. Okay, that is the end of round 1. Take a minute to kind of look over your scores, look over your answers. Round 2 is going to be name that fruit or veggie. So I'm going to show you a picture of a fruit or a vegetable, and you just try to guess what it's called. Question 1. What is that thing? Question 2. I will give you a clue. This is not a green tomato. Question 3. These are pretty. I've never eaten one, but they're really pretty. Question 4. I use these all the time. Well, I'll give you a clue. It's not an onion. It's related, but it's not an onion. Question 5. This goes by a real name and it goes by a nickname. I will accept both. Question 6. I hate this vegetable. I hate that it's popular right now. I hate this vegetable. Question 7. Question 8. I'll give you a clue. This is used a lot in Thai cooking. Question 9. So the actual fruit is on the left, and something you might use it for in cooking is on the right. So that's kind of a clue. Question 10. This is a pretty common food, and when I saw the way that it grew, I could not believe it. Used in Cajun cooking sometimes. Question 11. This is kind of a close-up, if that helps. Question 12. Question 13. This is a low-carb alternative, if that's a good clue. Question 14. I love this fruit. It's crazy looking, but it's delicious. Question 15. This one's kind of easy. Question 16. This is in the nut family. It's kind of a close-up too. Question 17. I love this fruit too. Question 18. This is kind of a lettuce. That's the only clue I'm given. Question 19. I love this fruit too. All these fruits are so good. And question 20. This one's kind of easy too. It's in every juice starting 3 years ago. Okay, round 3 is Name That Celebrity Chef. In this round, I'm going to show pictures of chefs from Food Network, also some YouTube chefs, and you just provide the name. If they have a nickname that's well known, I will accept that as well, and I don't care about spelling. I'm not going to ever know. Number 1. Number 2, he's my favorite. Old school Food Network days. Number 3, and I will accept her nickname. Number 4, Ohio Proud. Number 5, the queen of all chefs ever. The end. Number 6, this is his newest show on Food Network, but he's been on Food Network for a while. Number 7, he's been on Food Network for a while too. Number 8, this is one of the YouTubers, and he's my favorite on YouTube right now. So funny. Number 9, I love this guy too. He has a great biography called LA Sun that I read. It's like part biography, part cookbook. He's awesome. Number 10. So this is a really famous YouTuber. I will accept his YouTube channel name because like almost nobody knows his actual name, so I will accept the YouTube channel name. Number 11. Number 12. He's British. You guys probably already knew that, but there's your clue. He's British. Number 13. He has a new show on Food Network that I think is starting back up like this week, maybe? Number 14. This is a singer, but she also has a Food Network show. Number 15. This guy's been on Food Network since literally the 90s. Number 16. Oh, I love her too. Number 17. My husband and I watch the show all the time. Number 18. Everybody knows this guy. Number 19. This guy has a popular Netflix show right now. And number 20. This is my favorite YouTube food channel. I put him on here just because I want to talk about this YouTube channel. So good. Alright, take a second to tabulate those last couple scores, and then we will move on to the answers. Alright, here are the answers for round 1. Which staple food was rationed in the UK the year after the end of World War II, despite having never been rationed during the war? The answer is actually bread. There was a wheat shortage right after World War II, so bread was not rationed in the UK during the war, but it was the year after the war. Question 2. From which part of the pig do we get the ham? It is the hind leg. Kind of a weird thing about barbecue. If you ever buy a pork butt to put on like the smoker, that's actually from the front of the pig. The ham is from the back. Question 3. Roquefort, feta, and manchego are all cheeses from the milk of which animal? The answer is sheep, but if you said goat, I looked it up, and goat cheese makes all 3 of those cheeses as well, or goat's milk, so I will accept either sheep or goat. Question 4. Sodium bicarbonate is better known as baking soda. That's kind of an easy one. Question 5. If you put a rotten egg in a bowl of water, will it float or sink? It will float because the older the egg gets, more and more air is able to penetrate the shell. And then that's what actually causes the spoilage and makes the egg float. Number 6. Mozzarella cheese, at least in Italy, was originally made from the Italian Mediterranean buffalo. I did not know this creature existed. There's a picture. It turns out their milk is higher in protein and fat and lactose, so it creates just a very creamy, milky mozzarella. Number 7, if you only eat chicken or other fowl, you are a polotarian. If you only eat fish, you are a pescatarian. So the Slavic word for vodka translates in English to little water. If you guessed water of life, you were thinking whiskey, that's the Gaelic translation for whiskey is water of life, but vodka is little water. Question 9, Nestle is currently the largest food and drink company in the world. Second largest, Anheuser-Busch, which owns Corona beer, by the way, so I bet they're going to do just fine after all this. Third largest is Coca-Cola. Fourth largest, right on their heels, is Pepsi-Cola, and Pepsi-Cola actually sells more in the United States than it does in the rest of the world. Number 10. The main ingredient of mince pie is actually fruit. Mince's main ingredient is dried fruits mixed with meat and spices. Mince pie originally always contained meat, but modern recipes call for beef fat, basically. Number 11. The original flavor for Twinkie was banana cream. I don't like bananas. I think that's gross. There was a Bourdain episode where he went to an original Twinkie factory and there was still the cream in the pipes and he ate it and it was still good. Twinkies will last until the end of time. Yeah, a banana cream though. I don't know if they still make that flavor or not, but I hate bananas, so I'm not buying it either way. Number 12, the most popular spice in the world is pepper. It's kind of an easy one. If you guessed salt, you're thinking along the right path, but I wouldn't call salt a spice. Number 13, flour cooked together in fat is known as a roux. Picture in the lower left is, in Cajun cooking, you can do a blonde roux, you can do a caramel roux, or you can do a chocolate roux, depending on what you're cooking. For your average gravy, it's just going to be white. If you need to know how to make a roux, email me at askpal@delawarelibrary.org. I make a roux almost every day because I like to make pies and gravies and all that stuff that you have to start with a roux to make. Number 14, tomatoes originated in South America, you guys. It is a new world food. Tomatoes didn't get to Italy until 1548, and pizza wasn't invented until 1738. Picture Italian food without tomatoes. What was this world? What did it look like? I don't know. 15. There was a molasses flood in 1919 in Boston. That is a picture. A giant tank of molasses spilled, broke, and it put almost 1 million gallons of molasses in Boston. They say to this day, if you're walking through this area on a hot day, you can still smell molasses coming up from the ground. 16. Vanilla comes from orchids. That is a picture of what the vanilla bean looks like when it still has the flower on it. It's crazy. It looks like an alien plant. 17. If you want to make your martini disgusting, add olive brine. I hate olives. There are 3 foods I won't eat. Olives are one of them. You can add pickle brine instead, by the way. That's much better. 18. A Thai dish with moo, or sometimes moo, would include pork. That is the westernization of that Thai word. I've written below what the word actually is. I obviously can't pronounce it. Thai language is incredibly difficult for the English ear to pronounce. But on menus, if you say MU or MOO, it is actually pork. 19. The ingredients that make red velvet cake a distinctive dark color are red food coloring and cocoa powder. The first recipe for red velvet cake came from a company that makes food coloring, no surprise. And it debuted in the 20s. The Waldorf Astoria in New York says that they invented it, but that would have been the 50s. And velvet cakes have been around forever, but red velvet cake, it looks originated in Texas in the 20s. And 20. If you were served crudité, you would be eating raw vegetables. If you said bread, you were thinking croûte, which is like crouton. Alright, questions for round 2. Name that fruit or veggie. Round 2, question 1. It's dragon fruit. I have never eaten one, but I have seen them at my grocery store. Question 2 is a tomatillo. It looks like a green tomato, but it's actually related to gooseberries and has that kind of, like, wrapping paper almost around it. It's got this real brittle skin that you have to peel off before you cook it. It's what you use to make, like, salsa verde. 3 is a kumquat. Aren't they cute? I've never even had one, but they're pretty. Number 4 is a shallot, one of my favorite things to cook with. It actually is related to onions. It's also related to garlic, like that whole family is related. But shallots are a little bit sweeter, and they almost taste like an onion and a garlic mixed together. If you ever see one, pick one up. They're one of my favorite things to cook with. 5, I will accept either starfruit or carambola. If you said carambola, you better give yourself 2 points, actually, because that's pretty impressive. Number 6 is a kohlrabi. Wah wah! My grandpa would grow these, and when I was a kid, he would pick one and get out his knife and give me a piece and be like, try this. And every time I was like, oh, he tricked me! Kohlrabi is so gross. Number 7 is a persimmon. Funny thing about persimmons, they, when they're underripe, have a ton of tannins in them, like tannins like red wine tannins. And if you bite into one, and I've done this, it sucks all the moisture out of your mouth, hence the phrase sour persimmons. If you ever eat a sour persimmon, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. It's crazy. Number 8 is lemongrass. You can actually grow lemongrass in Ohio. I grew it like 2 years ago and just saved it and froze it, and then I could make Thai food whenever I wanted. Number 9 is jackfruit. So the actual fruit is on the left, and then there's this new kind of popular vegan recipe going around where you can make a vegan pulled pork sandwich, in quotes, using jackfruit. So that is what is on the right. Number 10 is okra. Okra actually grows at the top of, like, it's like the inside of a flower in this big tall plant. I had no idea that's how that grew, but that's what it looks like when you pick it. 11 is bean sprouts. If you said sprouts, I'll count it too. 12 is papaya. So at the top is a ripe papaya. At the bottom is a Thai salad called som tum that I am currently in love with. It's really spicy, or you can get it mild, but I don't. I get it really spicy. And that is actually underripe papaya, like green papaya. 13 is spaghetti squash. If you're going low carb, you can just kind of cook that up, and then it at least looks like spaghetti. The texture is kind of off. 14 is passion fruit, which is, it looks like a crazy fruit, but it's so good. It's delicious. 15 is an artichoke, which is actually a member of the thistle family, I just found out, which is why you can't eat that choke part in the middle. 16 is Brazil nuts. Weird thing about Brazil nuts. One Brazil nut has your daily allowance of selenium, which is a heavy metal that you need in your body, but if you get too much of it, you can get poisoned. So don't ever eat more than like a couple Brazil nuts a day because they have a ton of selenium in them. 17 is a fig. Figs are awesome. You can have them fresh. You can have them dried. You can have them in a Newton. Figs. Oh, figs. 18 is endive. If you're not being fancy, it's endive. If you answered Belgian endive, give yourself 2 points. Oh, it's endive. So fancy. 19 is a guava. If you mix that with passion fruit, it's the best. They're so good. And 20, obviously, the pomegranate. All the seeds, all the juice. Crazy fruit. All right, take a second to kind of calculate up your rights and wrongs from the last category, and then we will move on to round 3, which is Name That Celebrity Chef. All right, round 3, question 1 is Wolfgang Puck. Very famous Austrian Californian chef. I should have mentioned, by the way, that I'm using the term chef loosely for this category. Some of these guys are, like, have gone through culinary school, and some of these guys are food celebrities. I should have said name that food celebrity. He is a chef, though. Number 2, Emeril! 90s. Do you guys remember Food Network in the 90s? And get the BAM and like everybody bought that essence powder. I have his blackening seasoning in my cabinet right now. I love Emeril. Emeril's the best. 3 is Ina Garten, but I will accept Barefoot Contessa. Number 4, hometown hero Michael Simon. He's from Cleveland. He has a couple restaurants in Cleveland. I love him. He's an Iron Chef. He's the best. 5, of course, Queen Julia. Julia Child. was like the start of it all. Did you guys know she was a spy in World War II? She like did she worked for the Foreign Services Office. Look it up. There's a drunk history about it too. She's just like one of the most interesting people. Number 6 is Tyler Florence. He's been on Food Network forever. If you guys are looking for a recipe for him, he has a roasted tomato salad dressing that is so good. I've made it like 15 times. You just like roast the little tomatoes and add some vinegar. Oh, it's amazing. 7 is Bobby Flay. Probably my least favorite Food Network chef, but yeah, he's alright. Number 8 is Maddie! Big Dog Matheson. He is on YouTube. He has an amazing YouTube channel called Just a Dash. Not safe for kids. This is not safe for work. But he's awesome. He's just super funny. He's one of my favorite people. So, yeah, it's Maddie. Number 9 is my chef crush, Roy Choi. His biography is called LA Sun, and it's half biography, half cookbook. He has some great stuff on YouTube as well. He has a couple, Chef Show is on Netflix right now. And that's him hanging out with like celebrities and cooking. So yeah, I love him. He's the best. 10 is Andrew Ray, technically. But if you put Babish or Binging with Babish, give yourself a point. He is, I think, the second most popular food YouTube channel right now. Something like that. 11 is Ree Drummond, but if you put Pioneer Woman, absolutely count it. 12 is Jamie Oliver. Oh, Jamie Oliver. He's been on Food Network for a while, too. I don't know if he still is, but yeah, he was one of those original guys. 13 is Duff Goldman. I love him. You guys remember Ace of Cakes? That show was so good. He is on a show right now with Buddy Valestro called Buddy vs. Duff, where they like do cake challenges. It's kind of fun. 14 is Trisha. She has a Food Network show. She's also married to Garth Brooks, and I always think it's funny when I watch that show that she's just like cooking Garth Brooks dinner, but yeah, it's Trisha. 15 is Alton Brown, obviously. He's an icon, Food Network icon for sure. 16, Nigella Lawson. I liked her. She did a show called The Taste on like NBC a couple years ago with Bourdain and a couple other people. It was good. 17 is Ted Allen. I have been watching him since the old Queer Eye for the Straight Guy days. He is currently on Chopped, which is a super fun show. It's now that we're all trying not to go to the grocery store as much too, like Chopped is every day at my house at this point. Like, what can I make with celery, cream of chicken soup, and leftover rice? 18, of course, is Gordon Ramsay. Everybody knows he's crazy. Running around, cussing at everybody. 19 is David Chang. He has a restaurant in New York called Momofuku. He was also the first person that I know of that took old cereal milk and cooked with it. Like, that's not even an ingredient, but he totally uses it. He has a show right now called Ugly Delicious on Netflix, too, that has a bunch of other celebrity chefs. 20! Brad Leone. Okay, listen. The best YouTube channel for food right now is Bon Appetit. They have the best channel. I would rate it personally T for teen. They bleep curse words, so it's not like the worst. It's not like Maddie doing all that stuff, but he is hilarious. He's from New Jersey. He is not afraid to be from New Jersey. Go watch. If you like food, if you like cooking, go watch Bon Appetit. It is my favorite YouTube channel right now. He's like, the way that they record it and everything is just, it's too funny. You also accidentally learn a lot about fermenting, which is nice too. Alright, so how did you do? If you got 15 or less correct, you have probably not eaten a green thing. Maybe even ever. If you got 16 to 30, you've watched some Food Network, you've watched a couple, you cook, you have some cookbooks. If you are over 30, you are a gourmet type smarty pants. Good job, you know all the foods, you know all the people. Alright, thanks for playing, guys. We will see you next week, and I will give you a clue. Next week's theme is going to be Pixar. So get ready, do some studying. I'll see you later.